Good morning. It is Friday, and this is April 4th through the April 6th. I don't like this weekend. I am not a fan of this weekend. We have a lot of stuff going on. Tomorrow is a big one. Today is a big one. Sunday, I think, is like a recovery day from today and tomorrow. So today, we are revisiting several things in our past here, okay? Today we have a first quarter moon at 15 degrees of Cancer. This story started July 5th of last year, and I told this story on TikTok. I'll tell it here as well. For me, this new moon in July 5th of last year kind of went a little off the rails. I ended up, thinking that I was in a really good space. The night before, I had a really good conversation with someone from my past, because Cancer loves the past. And I thought, hey, I could do the same thing with this other person, reached out to them, and that person hit a trauma trigger for me. And I went from thinking that I was doing really well and I was really happy and everything was great to walking back into the bar that I was about to leave, all because some dude, this grown adult man, decided to think with his thing instead of his brain and crossed a line that I have very clearly put in the sand multiple times over the last couple of years. And I walked back into that bar, got myself an extremely heavy-handed poured drink, and ended up getting a little bit over intoxicated and sending off a whole round of unhinged text messages. And today we get a correction on that. This is our something happens to show us what change we need to make in regards to that new beginning then. So we'll see how that goes, right? We also have the Mars-Saturn trine. This is the third and final one here. The first one was the end of September. The second one was Super Bowl weekend, like February 7th, 8th. And now we're here in the third one. It's been building for a couple of days. It is exact this evening. For me, been a test of my sobriety both times. So again, we'll see how this goes. What story has been playing out in that realm of testing your boundaries, your emotional boundaries, your intuitive boundaries, your sobriety, the emotional work that you've been doing, the healing work that you've been doing. Where has that been playing out in those areas of your life during that time? We're closing that out today and into the weekend. Tomorrow, as Venus backs up into a conjunction with Saturn, we're going to start seeing readjustment on something that began around January 18th when the first conjunction happened. Saturn, again, is responsibility, it is boundaries, it is karmic lessons, it is trying to solidify things, especially in Pisces. It's solidifying your dreams. It's also about that emotional and intuitive boundaries as well. So you could see, someone from your past coming back up. You could see some kind of test of some boundaries that you put in place back in January. So keep that in mind as we go through this weekend as well. Tomorrow, the moon moves into a conjunction with Mars. We could see an event be triggered off here. This trine is in a sextile with Uranus in Taurus. So this is uncomfortable stuff going on in the world around us. I always say Uranus is the messenger that's yelling at us because we didn't listen to Mercury when it was talking to us. And keep in mind, Mercury is still conjunct the North Node. So there's all of this stuff going on in the world, and it is really just testing the hell out of us. And it's probably going to have a lot of people rethinking things, wanting to come back and talk about stuff. Whether it's genuine or not, it kind of depends on them. But it's all about testing your boundaries, making sure that you are really standing your ground when it comes to trusting your gut. And then Sunday, the moon moves into Leo, and it's kind of like a recovery, but also a little bit dramatic, a little, it could very well move into understanding that we need to kind of love each other a little more and be a little more kind and loving and warm with each other. But it could also go the way of drama and over the top type of behavior as well. So it's a rough weekend. It's going to feel like it's all over the place. It's feeling like you're getting hit with everything at once. All of the stuff from the past is coming back up at once. And it's really a test of your boundaries. And I know we have these protests this weekend. A lot of them are planned all over the country. Really, if you are participating, make sure that you are listening to your intuition. Get out of there when your gut tells you to get out of there. This Saturn-Venus conjunction in Pisces kind of gives me the feeling, because Venus is ruling Uranus here, of a power trip cops that have zero understanding or care for a constitutional right to protest. I also would not be surprised if there wasn't like some agitator things happening, kind of like 2020, where we know that there were agitators that went in and turned a protest into a riot type of thing. So really be aware of your surroundings if you're participating in this, and listen to your intuition. If you got to get out of there, please get out of there. I also think that we will see yet another weekend executive order that has something to do with finances. I would not be surprised at all. I had a dream, and I'm going to put this out there. I had this dream last week, I think it was, where I woke up and there was like writing on the wall in blood that said, "You're already in hell." And then I went to wake my daughter up because it scared me and I wanted to get her and get her out of there. When I turned back around, it said, "Chris is a demon." I don't know. I don't have any Chris's in my orbit anymore because I'm pretty well isolated these days. I feel like this might be a collective dream, but I think it might be like a New Mexico collective dream, because my mind keeps going to that Chris being Chris Wright. And with what's going on with the planets, that Uranus and Taurus energy that's happening, being ruled by Venus retrograde, I know that there is this plan to revoke renewable energy research funding from the DOE. That's going to be detrimental to New Mexico. I know last weekend they removed the DOE funding for renewable energy projects that are like out in the world. They haven't yet touched the projects that are happening at DOE facilities. That I really think is going to be the next thing. And I know for the state of New Mexico, that's going to be detrimental for our economy in general, but especially our construction industry, because they've already slashed the DOD construction funding. And we have 3 Air Force bases and 2 DOE facilities here in the state. The federal government is our largest employer, especially in the construction industry here in New Mexico. So I'm putting that out there just in case, but we might see something along those lines happen this weekend through these executive orders. But I digress. Let's do some cards. What is the collective energy for this weekend? What is the collective energy? We have 2 of Swords. So this is like having to make decisions without really being able to see the whole picture. This is really having to lean on your intuition. It's kind of a crossroads kind of energy. Are you going to trust your gut and make your decisions based on that? North Node in Pisces is really, really urging us to follow our intuition, to allow ourselves to be divinely guided in things. And that is very much the energy right now. Things are not super clear. And we need to make sure, especially with Mercury in Pisces, things are never clear when Mercury is in Pisces. But with Mercury being retrograde and in conjunction with that North Node, it is intuitively giving you clarity. So really, you've got to listen to that intuition coming through this weekend. And that's just like the overall energy is you can't see the whole picture, but you know something's going on and you're going to have to make a decision about it. What to focus on? Queen of Cups. Ooh, I like this. Okay. Things are rough, right? We want to focus on this intuitive, empathetic, compassionate, nurturing energy. It is so easy to be angry right now. We need to make sure that we're not allowing that anger to form into hate. Okay. I said this on another video. Something that I heard a couple days ago is that there is such a thing as righteous anger. There is no such thing as righteous hate. We want to make sure that we are willing to be open to those that need compassion and understanding. Even if we're angry at them. Okay, so really pay attention to that. Focus on finding that compassion even in the things that are difficult, but also making sure that we're listening to that intuition as well. What to avoid this weekend? Eight of Swords. Don't get stuck in your head. Don't overthink it. Really allow yourself to be guided. We can get stuck in our head and be like, oh, is that really true? Am I being paranoid? Am I being insecure? We can really get stuck in our head like that and cause like a lot of anxiety for ourselves by doing that. Really, this is very much let go and let God energy that we're in. So make sure that you are not trying to like find proof in something. You're not overthinking it. You're not over questioning yourself. Bottom of the deck is the Death card. So there's like this really like intense transformation that's happening that's leading all of this. Okay. Let's pull clarifiers for the Two of Swords here. We have Six of Cups. I was choosing like innocence and oh, we got three. Six of Cups, Justice, and fuck. Six of Cups, Justice, and King of Wands. Okay. This could be someone from your past. The King of Wands could be somebody from your past. Or it could just be you listening to your intuition in order to guide you in the thing that lights you up, right? King of Wands can be kind of fuckboy energy, but it's also, I mean, it's stable and it's passionate as well. And Justice that's that karmic justice. Again, Venus conjunct that Saturn that could bring some very karmic type of justice here. Six of Cups. It is the past, but it is also like just an energy of innocence as well. There's really make sure that you are listening to your intuition. You're wanting to find a place where you're comfortable. You're wanting to find a place where you kind of have like that childlike energy. You want to be passionate. You want things to balance out, right? Like that's the energy that is pushing this. Again, make sure that you're listening to your intuition because that's where it's going to guide you, quite honestly. Things might be rough getting there, but that's where it's trying to lead you to, okay? Making those decisions based on your intuition is going to help you get to this place of like innocence and joy and passion, okay? Clarifiers for our Queen of Cups. We have the Hangman. And this is saying to be patient. Look at the whole story and the world. Yeah. So this is very much finding that empathy, finding that compassion, finding that understanding here, that nurturing energy of the Queen of Cups, right? Because it's like being patient, waiting things out, looking at the whole picture so that these cycles can end instead of digging your heels in the sand and saying, nope, I'm not going to give, right? Yes, you've got to have good boundaries, but you also got to not be so stubborn in those boundaries that you're cutting off people or situations that are in need of that compassion. Compassion can go a long damn way. We are going to ignore Spaceboy when he says that empathy is a problem. Empathy is not a problem. Empathy heals people. Empathy helps other people grow. When your boundaries are so stiff and you're allowing anger to influence those boundaries, you can run a lot of people off and send those people even further into their own hate, okay? So really focus on slowing down, looking at the whole picture, being empathetic, and allowing people to like kind of work through things so that we can kind of start to close out this awful cycle that we've been dealing with for a while now. Let's put clarifiers for our Eight of Swords. We have Strength and Two of Cups. Okay. Saturn and Venus meeting up, right? We need to make sure that we have strength when it comes to our interactions with others, right? Got to have those boundaries, but we don't want to be overthinking it. We don't want to, sit here and say, ask ourselves if we're being paranoid. Don't overthink it. Don't overanalyze it. If your intuition is telling you to either have those boundaries or to be courageous. The Strength card is also about courage and bravery as well when it comes to your interactions with others. And again, this could be people coming back from the past, and you could be finding yourself being plunged right back into that mindset where you're, am I just being paranoid type of things. Don't overthink it. Lean on your intuition. Bottom of the deck is Knight of Wands. So this is like a kind of spontaneous type of energy. Like this might kind of come out of nowhere. So keep that in mind. Take care of yourself this weekend. Stay safe. Listen to your gut. Make sure you've got good boundaries, but not such good boundaries that you're cutting everyone off who is really actually genuinely in your space to talk to you.